Hello. The audio should be a bit better in this episode. I was able to get it all working. This is a review of Skeleton Crew's episodes 1 and 2. If you haven't watched it, please do not continue. You've got a minute. Click off, watch it, then come back and watch it from us. See ya. Hello and welcome back to the House of Vizsla, where we talk anything and everything Star Wars. And today we are talking about Skeleton Crew. It just came out this week. This is a spoiler episode. If you have not watched Skeleton Crew, the first and the second episode, you probably want to click off and come back after. Unless you like being spoiled and lose the fun of watching a film or show without being spoiled. But let's go on. How was your week, Five?
Oh, it was pretty good. Thanksgiving went well. Then after that, I just had a few papers to write this week, so it's been pretty chill. How about you?
Uh, Went good. Exams coming up. Thanksgiving was good, but Skeleton Crew was an highlight of
Highlight?
my week.
Yeah,
What
for
about you?
sure.
Go.
Yeah, mine's just about the same as yours. Really like Skeleton Crew, but gonna have to get busy studying.
All right. So, um, we're gonna start with episode 1 of Skeleton Crew. I completely forgot what it was actually titled, so that's gonna be fun. Time to pull up Disney Plus and check.
That's awesome.
Fun times.
Yes, sir.
Yes. So I don't want ads. Uh, so the first episode is "This Could Be a Real Adventure." It is
Yep.
49 minutes, and the description of the show is kids from an ordinary planet discovering a surprise secret. And it's 49 minutes. And
hmm
basically, let's go. And what was one thing you enjoyed off the bat?
Well, one thing I enjoyed was starting out. It started out almost like Star Wars suburbs, which we really hadn't seen most of that up to this point, and it was literally just like real world, except Star Wars. So that was kind of cool to see how they did that. I don't know. I thought that was cool.
Yeah. I also like how when it started, um, when we first got to see some of the pirates, it was attacking something like most pirates do. It's not, oh, some pirates at a cantina.
Yeah.
You're seeing them in action.
Uh-huh.
I mean, attacking people and at a cantina. That is basically the two spots where you'll find a pirate,
Exactly.
real life and in Star Wars.
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
but it isn't them just drinking. Um, so
Yeah.
Yeah, and then one thing that I really liked is, like you said, it didn't start out, or I mean, it started out with the action sequence, but after that, it introduced us to a different setting. Whereas most of movies and other shows were based either on like westerns or on uh, like Japanese samurai films.
Yep.
so if we're gonna rate this episode, what would you rate it?
Hmm.
Out of 10, how much would you rate it? We've discussed this.
Um, I don't know. Like, what do you think, Tiger?
Because it was
There's several different ways to rate it. Like, you
it's
know
up
what I
to
mean?
you.
Yeah. If it were me, I would give it like, I mean, I was impressed, and I didn't really expect much of Skeleton Crew, but I'll give it like a 7.5 or something.
All right.
I think I think that's I think it's pretty solid. First episode is good. So,
Yeah, and like from the ads, I wasn't that really. It didn't seem that like it was going to be that interesting.
exactly.
But
Yeah.
like in that first episode, kind of like the introduction of everything, it did pique my interest.
It did. Yeah.
Yeah,
Which is what it's supposed to do, you know. A good first episode does that, and it did that, so, I don't know.
Yep. I'm quickly working on something that I should have done before the show started, but
Yeah.
it's gonna go well, hopefully. So you said 7.5, right?
Yep.
Echo.
I was going to say maybe like 8.
All right. I if got two numpads and it's a pain in the butt when both are actually programmed to do numpad things. So I
Yeah.
am. I'm gonna give it a 7 because it is the first episode, and if you go like 10 off the bat, you're just setting yourself up having to go less later on,
Yeah. Yeah,
anticipating
that's true.
there's gonna be a better episode because you can't have your best episode be your first episode. That's
Yeah.
typically not the case. So a 7 is a good score. So that divided by 3 people gives us a 7.5 as a total. So I've got to do some cool things. So we've got real quick making something right off the bat is sometimes not the best thing, but um
Yeah.
but here it is. We have 7
I mean, we need a rating system somehow.
Yeah, exactly. It's the way to do it.
Yep. So we've got so we discussed kind of we went through that film, that episode, and they also released a second episode with it. So I think it
Yep.
is a good time to go and talk about that episode, and then after we are done with it, we can come up with theories of what's gonna happen next.
Yep. So
So
I think the second episode is called way out of way out past the barrier. I think that's what it's called. Way out past the barrier. Um
yes, and it is 32 minutes long. So if you
yeah.
think of the 50 minutes of credits at the end, which is more like 7 minutes, that will lower the amount of time it takes. But it is a surprising 4 star, marks the beginning of an unexpected journey.
Mhm.
So we start this episode off, and they are on a ship that they found in the end of the last episode. Uh,
Yep.
so, and they think are taking off. I'm not sure. It's a blow.
I think they're
It's a
they're in the
blow.
air.
Yes, they're in the air, and it's a blow when it's 2 episodes back to back.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure they like the first episode ends with them like after they take off, and then the second one begins with them in space, and then yeah, it goes from there.
Yeah, I thought the break was like slightly before that. It like broke between the episodes as they were taking off. I could be
Uh-huh.
wrong though.
Yeah, it might be somewhere in between there. So,
so we as the show continues, we see if anything that happens with it, and one thing that came is the droid. This droid that they thought was a skeleton in the first episode happened to come online, marching down, looking for the captain of the ship,
yep.
SM-33 is his name.
and he reminds me of a K2S's K2SO's like
Yeah, that's what it reminded me of
drunk
too.
uncle. I think about
Yeah,
it.
It's like it's very obvious to us that he is like a almost pirate-ish, like he has the pirate vibe to him, but I don't the kids don't really realize that, I don't think.
No.
So, yeah.
Um, and if you don't know, the kids' names are a lot of Google searching because I should have it in show notes. Neil is the elephant-looking creature, um,
Yep.
and is voiced by Robert Smith. Um,
some of the other characters we have Win, played by Ravi. I'm not even going to attempt to pronounce that last name. Fern, played by Ryan Kiera Armstrong, and KB, played by Kiriana
Oh,
Crater. I probably
yeah.
mispronounced that as well.
Kiriana Crater.
yes. Um, and the cast has the four kids have a good chemistry together. So
Yeah.
um and yeah, so and they're in all the episodes, and then in this episode they went to a pirate space dock because that's where the droid said to go for directions.
Yeah.
They, of course, didn't know it was pirate at the time.
Yeah.
Um,
Only
so
after being there for a time they realized it.
so what was one thing that you liked about this episode or moment?
Well, there's kind of like some mystery in this episode because as like as the time goes on, we see like no one knows the name of the planet the kids are from, and then they're also using Old Republic credits, I think, and everyone's like surprised about that. And apparently the planet is some sort of like myth or something. So there's some like mystery hidden in there.
Yeah,
That's cool.
Old Republic credits, as in the Galactic Republic from episodes 1 through 3 and Clone Wars.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not Old Republic like the video game, um,
Hmm.
because this is set in the time of Mandalorian. So we have the New Republic trying to set a stronghold in the galaxy, but
Also,
that's all.
not to mention the Old Republic. I'm pretty sure it's the Old Republic is no longer canon. It's been replaced by the High Republic.
It's it's into it's complicated. Um, it is canon in my head and other people's heads, but not Disney. Like the sequels, they should not be canon.
Yeah, that's like
Yep.
a whole nother deal. I don't think we should get into that here.
But so I really liked how um you the crew actually got to know each other from it's two groups of friends meeting up. One's kind
Yeah,
of like this um kid that just wants to do bad, not care about school,
oh yeah,
which
for
is fun.
yeah.
And
And she it seems like so far she's a little bit more of a leader, but she also tends to like try to manipulate those around her. If you know what I mean? Like
yes,
the
definitely,
boys and
definitely,
her
if
friend.
in high school would probably be um, popular in a lot of drama, but not like the popular kid that is a
Yeah,
cheerleader. The
yeah,
complete
yeah.
opposite. Um,
And also, if I remember correctly, she's trying not to do well, but yet she's also telling her mom that she's doing really well.
so
Uh,
living like a two-faced life. At school doesn't care, but at home has to act like she's doing well.
yeah. Um, and then I mean, Neil and Wim. I mean, they're just like the classic, the best friend duo. You know, they do everything together. Uh, yeah,
One,
it's
yeah, uh, probably smart in a sense, but also just doesn't really like school and probably wants to go on an adventure
yeah.
because living in a suburban town that
There's
all
like
you're
no
doing
adventure.
is basically stuck on a planet and going to
Hmm.
school to just do a boring desk job. And your
Yeah,
teacher's a robot, you're definitely gonna daydream about being a Jedi or
being a Jedi, Starfighter.
smuggler.
You know,
And
something like that.
like circling back to, I forget which one of you said it earlier, but about the planet being like a myth that's full of riches, all we're really shown of the planet is more or less. maybe 2 times the size of the Denver airport.
Mm,
We're not
yeah.
shown anywhere else on the planet, so it could very well just be somewhere else on the planet is covered in riches.
Yeah. Yeah, it could be.
And um, it's the 2 episodes that were shown really made me feel like I wanted to go find a playground somehow and play with imaginary lightsabers,
Yeah.
because that's what Star Wars is supposed to be, a break from reality. And
Uh-huh.
good
It
storytelling is number one what's gonna help. And number two is actually telling us a good story. Um, so
mhm.
I would rate this episode myself, because it did give more action, more scenery, because they did break out of the planet circle, go to this pirate port, get into some trouble, and end up getting thrown into the brick. And it gave us action, gave us
Mhm.
oh, what's gonna happen next? How are these 4 kids are gonna escape this and that, and like giving them an adventure that I wish I was on. And
Yeah. Yeah.
I would give it a 7.5, because it did leave us with a cliffhanger, like every show should, um,
Yes. Yeah, for sure.
and wanting to know, okay, how are they gonna escape? But also, it's the second episode. First 2 episodes could be good. Third one could be terrible and take the whole series. Acolyte.
That's
Um,
true. Mhm.
so that's what I think. What about you guys?
Um, I would give it a 7.5 as well. There's not, like, anything like, exactly anything that I liked about it more than the first. Is I just think it was pretty solid. Um, yeah.
Yeah, and I'd have to. I'm not sure if I want to give this one an 8 again or an 8.5 because like the first one kind of built up the world around it. This one kind of builds up more world than the characters. I
Mhm.
think I misspoke earlier. The first one kind of builds up the characters. This one more builds the world and the world around the characters.
Yeah.
So I'm probably going to give this one an 8 again.
That
Cool.
we get a 7.6, which is a little bit more of 7.5. So I'm going to keep it as 7.5, because I don't.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
So,
But it was a little bit better than the first episode, so I
yes.
don't know.
Um, so, at the end of this episode, they are in this brig, and there's this mysterious man also trapped in this
Yes,
brick
and we see him use the Force. Spoiler.
to
Wow.
get a
He's
key.
yeah.
He is Jod, played by Jude Law, um, who is it's his first like Star Wars appearance, but
Yeah, we haven't seen him yet.
he's been he's in Eden, The Order, Firebrand, Peter Pan and Wendy, Fantastic Beasts, Secrets of Dumbledore, where he played Albus Dumbledore. He played Captain Hook in Peter Pan
Yeah.
and Wendy, which I think was a Disney film. Maybe, I
Yeah.
don't
Yeah.
know.
Yeah, it was.
I'm going to be honest. I've only heard of one of those films that you just mentioned.
And I think he also, don't know what film it was, but the two, like, John Watts, I think, John Watts and Christopher Ford did it and directed it. John Watts, I think, worked with John Watts or Christopher Ford worked with worked with Jude Law on something. I'm not sure what it was.
Oh.
So you've got people who actually have worked with him knowing what he has done. I forget what it was.
Yeah. Oh, well,
I
yeah.
heard it in a video.
Good to know.
So, and let me... what was it? I'm not sure. That's gonna be another next episode thing. So these Jude Law has done some great performances, so he should be good in this film, and he grabbed the key. What do you think's gonna happen next?
Echo, you got this.
Well, my guess would be they escape.
That's a solid
Although-
guess. I mean, he is a force wielding Jedi, so
That does kind of raise the question: how long had he in there? Had he been in there without grabbing the key?
that's what I was wondering. Like, he could easily escape, so why did he choose to escape then? Like, why did he choose to grab the key then? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Was there like any way he could have known that the kid would be there?
Yeah.
I
I mean,
know.
I guess, yeah, we'll have to find out. Yeah.
Also, they're all still pirates and they're still trying to get back to the ship. And then they also have that droid that is somewhere, probably in bits, or also locked up. I don't know. He seems to be able to handle himself.
Although he was shot a few times.
Yeah.
So they have to get him, because you're not going to leave your droid behind who knows your ship.
Better than anyone
Especially
else.
when you yourself don't know the ship.
Exactly.
And found it in the woods. So what's they found? They try to escape. They're probably gonna run into interference. It's gonna be a chase to get
Yep.
out.
Their goal is to get back home, obviously.
Yes,
And
and none of them know where home is.
yeah.
None of them know what it's actually called either.
Yeah.
So they could probably meet up. We might get Mandalorian popping up somewhere, because he
could.
might be there.
That's true.
We have, I think what's actually gonna show up is Paul Sung Lee, I think is his name. He's the one TIE fighter pilot that we see, who also works, who's also on the same squad as Zeb, and then Trapper Wolf and a few others.
Hmm.
So he's probably gonna show up or tell Mando something, and Mando's gonna be checking something out because they are also trying to keep pirate threats down because the pirates and the Imperial remnant is what's keeping a hold on the galaxy from the New Republic taking over.
And I mean, not to mention that Mando seems to walk the same, like, staying close to the edge of piracy when he's a bounty hunter.
Yeah,
So that he could just be there on his own too.
yeah, that's true. Just like small appearance.
So I think those are some good speculations for the next um, season. Not season.
Yeah.
Episode. My brain is still half asleep.
Do we know how many episodes are
There are 8
coming out in season
episodes.
one? 8 episodes,
Um,
okay.
there it may or may not. 8 episodes. 2 episodes are out, so that leaves 6 episodes remaining. Um,
Yep.
so
Very possible that there could be a season two. Also, we don't know much by now, but I
yes,
mean, yeah, there's always a chance.
and with having young kids in it, you can make another season of it, and
Yeah.
they go on another adventure.
Hmm.
New Republic shows up and actually finds this planet. Something happens. Pirates end up, and there's a new adventure that awaits the crew.
Yeah. There's a lot of possibilities.
And with it being centered around the family, it's probably gonna be something that is gonna be helpful for everyone to see.
Now, this is, of course, assuming that uh, they're forgiven when they land back for, you know, missing everything, leaving the barrier, because it does seem to be like strict laws where they came from.
And
Yeah.
maybe they don't end up going back. Maybe they can't find the planet. That could be
Maybe
something.
it might leave off a cliffhanger like at the end of the whole season, you know?
Um,
Kind of like Ahsoka.
and um, so, but Jude Law's character, Jod, um, he is, from what I've heard, a pirate potentially, could also be a force user, and it says in DMB, whatever, I think I misspelled it, where he's in 8 episodes. So
Mm-hmm.
he didn't show up in the first episode
Ah,
that we
that's
know
true.
of.
Wait a second.
You're
But
right. He could be one of the pirates in the beginning.
He could be the captain, honestly.
Yeah, that's a very good guess, actually.
but that first episode, that mask figure with the voice modulator, this
Yeah.
could be him. His crew didn't like him because they didn't get rich, and they threw him in the brig. So,
Hmm.
and he sees these kids, something's up, while they're at the pirate port. Maybe he's trying to steal. Once they escape, maybe he's gonna steal from them. We don't
Uh-huh.
know. Right now, he could be both a bad guy and a good guy. To the kids, oh, he's here helping us, but he could just be a bad guy.
He could be helping them just to get them in a better place to rob them.
And then SM-33 is voiced by Nick Frost. So, um, he isn't in much um, that I know of. He's in like some Scooby Doo stuff. That's it. But from
W
what
show.
from what he's voiced so far, he's doing a good job. He's
Yeah, he is. He
hilarious.
is.
So,
Yeah.
but maybe the droid kind of reminds me of some of the security droids around Atin, which is that planet. So, could that
Oh,
mean
really?
anything?
Hmm.
Like maybe since we saw a bunch of dead bodies on a pirate ship, could they have like done a mutiny in space, crashed, somehow repaired or made enough droids to like run the security, and the entire population is just more or less descended from the crew that survived.
Or a
Yeah.
group
Because we
of
don't know
them
like
wanted to
we
leave.
don't know the sorry
We don't know the
we don't know the
backstory.
time gap. We don't know the time gap in between the two things. So that could be as well.
And we don't know much about, but they are defending the and the last hope for like the old republic. So
Hmm.
it's it seems like in my mind we have a village situation where
Mm.
they're trying to keep people thinking one thing,
Yeah. Yeah.
where the droids perform security,
Hmm.
and just keeping everyone like focused on we're here to save the republic. No
Yeah.
outside
Keeping everyone
connection,
contained. You know.
nothing. So
So it's kind of almost like the Truman Show in the we're keeping the outside world from them,
yeah,
or also
Yeah.
keeping them from the outside world.
Because the
villages.
outside world, it seems like they don't even know about them. So I mean, that makes sense.
Yeah, even the village is one, which is kind of bit scary, but that
Yeah.
is one that's similar to it. And then Don't Look Up is also one that is also has a similar trying to brainwash people from the
Mm.
truth. So
Yeah.
we don't know what happened, what the backstory is. Hopefully, we learn a bit on some of the clips back at Acton, because
Yeah.
the parents are probably worried. We know
Definitely.
Wim's dad is in trouble, so something's up.
Yeah.
I mean, also we don't know anything about KB's family, or
That's true.
basically anything about her in general.
And yeah,
He's just like the friend. You know.
so yeah, I'm not sure, but I feel like this is a good time to wrap it up for today's show. So, if this is your first time listening, because you saw something to do with Skeleton Crew, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. It's youtube.com/at House of Vizsla.
Yeah.
That's where we'll post most of the content, even our first initial what we think is up with the show and first thoughts, as well as all podcast episodes and potentially other things, and then also our on podcast feeds, Spotify, Spotify podcasters, and then Amazon Music at House of Vizsla as well. I think you can follow and rate to help push up the skulls. But besides that, may the force be with you.
Yep. Thanks for watching.